So today we're talking about the areas of circles and sectors. So our first formula is area of a circle, which is just pi r squared. Remember that if you know the diameter to get the radius, you can just cut it in half. So it still works whether you know the radius or the diameter. So our first example is to find the area of a circle, and we have a circle with a radius of 12 inches. So that means we have pi times 12 squared. 12 squared is 144. So then we just do 144 times pi, and that pi button is right here, that arrow, that blue, so for second pi. And we get 452 let's do 2 decimal places. So 452.39. 452.39, it is area, so we use units squared, so inches squared. One thing about these is you can round however you want to unless it specifically says. So if it says nearest whole number, do the nearest whole number. Nearest tenth means 1 decimal place. Nearest hundredth, 2 decimal places. So just be looking for the question. If it says it specifically, then answer it specifically. If not, you can round whichever way you'd like. Okay, so for our second example, we're going to use the area to find a missing measure. So with this one, we're given that the area is 196 pi yards squared. Find the diameter. So area is pi r squared, right? So this would be A equals pi r squared. So 196 pi equals pi r squared. They both have a pi. So I'm going to cancel that. So r squared equals 196. So we take the square root of 196. We get 14. So r equals 14. Well, I want the diameter. Well, diameter is 2 times r. So 2 times 14. Diameter is 28. And my units will be yards. So we found the diameter to be 28 yards. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is a sector of a circle, which is a region of a circle bounded by a central angle and its intercepted arc. And the formula is really similar to area of a circle. It's just part of it instead of the whole thing. So we have A equals x over 360 times pi r squared. So the pi r squared will be if it was a full circle. And a full circle just means we're using all 360 degrees. So let's say it's only part of a circle. Maybe it's 87 degrees. So we would do the same thing, but the 87 would go right here with x, and then that would get us the portion, because again, 360 is a full circle. So we just put our angle right there, and then we can plug everything else in like the area of a circle. Okay, so for our first example, we have this area that is shaded. Again, I didn't shade the whole thing so that you could still read it, hopefully. So it has a radius of 4 feet and then 53 degrees inside that central angle. So area equals 53 over 360 times pi r, which was 4 squared. 4 squared is 16, so we're just going to type this in. So we have math right up and get that fraction. We have 53 over 360 times pi 4 squared. And that's what we had written right here. 53 over 360 times pi 4 squared. And it actually asks us to round to the nearest tenth, so 1 decimal place. So we're going to get 7.4. 7.4, and it's feet, so feet squared. For our last one, I just wanted to show you what do you do if it's shaded on maybe the outside and then it gives you the degrees on the inside. So because it's shaded here, again, I'm trying not to shade the whole thing so you can still see it. The 55 degrees is not actually our angle we want. We want the rest of the circle. So the first thing you need to do is subtract 55 from 360, and we'd have 305. So 305 is the angle we actually want. So area equals 305 over 360 times pi. Our r is 11 this time, so pi 11 squared. So we would get our fraction, math right up. We'd have 305 over 360, 360 times pi 11 squared. So 305 over 360 times pi times 11 squared, and we get 322 point, and we're gonna say 0.1 because that 5 would round it up. So 322.1, and that'll be inches squared. So that's how you find the area of a sector. It's just part of the area of a circle.